This is WPTV, William Patterson Television.
Welcome back to the desk. The NBA is entering the second half of the season, and here to break it all down is Bijan, Pulley, David Gordon, Matt Goldman, and Brian Montiel. The NBA's 74th All-Star Game happened this past Sunday, and this year there was some major changes. David, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on this new format?
Well, I really didn't like it. It definitely improved it a lot. I'd say overall it made it more competitive and a reason for the players to try hard, which I definitely have seen this year. Also, they played more defense, which although, there was no real blowout, which is good, which means they played really good defense. And overall, it got the crowd more engaged, and it overall just wanted their players to do good.
Bijan, yes, no, where are you going? What are your thoughts?
I'm going to go with yes. This year, doing the tournament of 4 teams, to me, made the games more competitive, especially during the Rising Stars versus OG's game. That game was very competitive. I think this format can work going forward, but I think there's a tweak that needs to be made, especially with the target score. I think 40 points is too low. Raise it to 60, I think that's just the right balance that they need to hit.
Goldie?
Let's be honest here, gentlemen. Absolutely not. The All-Star Game is a joke year in and year out. There used to be millions of viewers. There's 4.7 million viewers compared to 20 million back in the 90s. I mean, the format's just way too confusing. The dunk contest is fine, 3-point's fine, skills is fine, but it's just not the same. Do a one-on-one tournament. Keep it East versus West. Add an incentive. This is not it. It stinks, plain and simple.
Yeah, I would agree with you because if I'm a fan of that, like they got everyone shooting 3-pointers from like half court.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. In my opinion, it's ridiculous.
In my opinion, it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch, in my opinion.
I'll go to you here.
Yeah, I said yes. I like the ideas. The only problem is really the players. The ideas would have worked if the players would have tried a little harder. I think it's cool to try to add something like to play for. I mean, I like the Rising Stars playing against the OGs. That was fun to watch. They played good. The OGs almost lost. It brought some type of. Imagine the Rising Stars made it to won the All-Star game. That would have been insane.
That's like a joke, though. I mean, there's just no way. That's not.
It just adds more competition because East versus West, it lost the competition.
Yeah, East versus West. If you add an incentive, it'll be fun.
Maybe, but it's just that's just the players' fault at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, they shoot half-court shots. It's just not fun. It's not good basketball.
It's not fun.
Mm-hmm. I agree. The Lakers made a trade for Hornets' young big man, Mark Williams, and that was voided, leaving the Lakers with a big weakness at the center position. Bijan, I'll go to you. What center should the Lakers target in the offseason?
I got to go with Nick Claxton. He'd be a great fit on this team. Offensively, very good lob target, which is the kind of big you need to pair next to Luka with offensively. Defensively, he would take the Lakers to a new level. He was a legit decoy candidate only 2 years ago, but since then the Nets haven't really been a winning environment, so his defensive prowess gets overlooked. Claxton's a very great rim protector, very good post defender, and he's very versatile defensively, being able to switch onto the perimeter and hold his own when necessary. And the Lakers can make the trade work using Gabe, Vincent, and Rui Hachimura. Both will be on expiring contracts next season, and they'll be getting more picks this summer to use in the trade. So they can give the Nets 2 unprotected first-round picks to make the deal work.
Yeah, I like that pick. There's going to be a Clax attack in L.A. I like that pick. A little Iron Eagle reference. Goldie, I'll go to you.
I'm saying Brooke, Lopez, come on down to the Lakers. If he wants to ring, I don't think Milwaukee's the place anymore to do it. He's a stretch 5. He can shoot the ball, and he has a very impressive post defense. I mean, anything's better than Jackson Hayes. Let's be honest. Anything's better than Jackson Hayes, Alex Len, Trey Jamison. Why not have a reunion in L.A. and get yourself a ring, Brooke?
David?
I'm going to go with Naz Reid. Last year, he shot 41%. He's one of the greatest three-point shooters, at least as a center for sure. And he puts up multiple performances every night in double figures. And he's just because of his consistent field goal percentage. And he's also a defensive menace, which the Lakers could use as a 1-2 punch in really locking up defenders.
Why? Who should the Lakers target in the offseason?
I chose Robert Williams. I think he's a good defender. I know he's been injured a lot, but I think he's probably one of the easiest people that the Lakers can get. And his contract is the second most out of the 4 we mentioned, but I think he knows his value. I think he knows he gets injured a lot. If they want to re-sign him, it's probably not going to be as much. So I think money-wise, Robert Williams would be the best, and I think if he stays healthy, it would also be a great fit as well.
Yeah, with the top 5 seeds in the Eastern Conference basically locked in, the 6th seed is still up for grabs. Goldie, I'll go to you. who will lock up that 6th seed in the Eastern Conference?
If you told me at the beginning of the season that the Detroit Pistons were going to be the 6th seed in the East, I would laugh in your face. I would say you're obnoxious and you got issues. But somehow, some way, Cade Cunningham has taken that jump. Jaden Ivey, before he got injured, was looking really impressive. And Malik Beasley is quietly averaging 17 points per game. The whole team is gelling, and that hasn't happened in a while in Detroit, you know. JP Bickerstaff's doing a great job bringing them back from the graveyard.
David, who's locking up that 6th seed?
I'm going to go with the Orlando Magic. Overall, they're just the better team. They're also, I think they're going to go on a little run. And they're going to create some separation in the standings and from other teams chasing them because I just think they're just young and they have too much talent not to go on some sort of run. I don't think they're going to go on a collapse in the second half of the season.
You know, David, that was kind of what Bijan said a couple blocks ago. He was like, Orlando Magic, and I know that's where you're going. Bijan, I'll bring you right into it.
Way to spoil the coup, but yes, I'm going with the Orlando Magic. See, David already did it, so
Yeah.
whatever. But they're only 3 games behind the Pistons right now for 6th seed, despite Paolo missing 31 games, Franz missing 19 games, and Jalen Suggs missing 19 games. The Magic have the 2nd best defensive rating in the league, despite all those injuries. And the more games Paolo and Franz get back into a rhythm, I think they can get this Magic offense back to a respectable level, because right now they have like the 30th offensive rating in the league. By the way, that's not good. And this team is mainly the same outside adding KCP this offseason, and they were just a 5th seed last season. So I think it's perfectly reasonable for them to start racking up some wins and get that 6th seed spot.
Why? Who's locking up that 6th seed?
I got the Detroit Pistons. I just think they're hungry. I think they want it more. I mean, they're trying to prove a point from last year. They were the worst team in basketball, longest losing streak in NBA history. They're trying to prove a point. I mean, Cade Cunningham is definitely doing it. 25 points per game, 9 assists. I think he has the players around him to do it. I just think they're hungry. And I personally think they might be they want it more than the Magic, I feel like. You know, the way they talk, I feel like they're building a culture over there, and I think it reminds me kind of like the light the beams type stuff, like the culture they're trying to bring back. So I think they're really more determined than the Magic, and I think they got it locked.
The 76ers have been a complete disaster this season with Embiid not being able to stay healthy. Paul George massively disappointing, and their season's just absolutely utter garbage for the 76ers. I'll just be completely honest. But Bly, as the resident Sixers fan,
Yes, sir.
you know, what do they play the lottery game? What are your thoughts on this?
I do not think we should play the lottery game. Do you guys forget who we got? We got Tyrese, Kendrick, Maxey, Paul, Clifton, Anthony George, and my favorite, Joel Embiid. My favorite player.
Oh, my God.
Yes,
Wow.
my favorite player in the NBA. I got my Holy Bible chain because I pray for Embiid's knees every day. I pray this man's knees every day. I think he's going to lock in. I know his body is not that great, but I think they do. Who's our competition? The Chicago Bulls? Do the Chicago Bulls have Embiid? Do the Chicago Bulls have Tyrese Maxey? We're going to make the play-in and we're going to make the playoffs. It's going to be all fine. I'm still chilling.
I have no comment.
I'm fine.
I have no comment.
gonna be
David,
fine.
David, yes, no? Should they play the lottery game?
Well, I'm going to actually disagree with you, Brian. I'm going to say no because they just haven't been playing good. They've been trending down in the standings to even catch the play-in with their record right now.
I
And
feel like we've been trending up.
well, maybe, but just overall, they've just been so inconsistent and not gone on a long win streak. And Paul George and Embiid can't stay on the floor. And they're going to need that if they're going to have to play in a potential one-and-done playing game. So overall, I just don't think so.
Bijan, yes, no? Where are you going?
I am disagreeing with Brian. Yes,
Lord.
it's time to play the lottery game. Embiid has come out and said on multiple occasions that he needs to get surgery on his knee and have a full off season, multiple months to recover, just to feel 100% again. Paul George is taking injections just to play games right now, and he's still looking bad. That's kind of crazy. The 76ers are 15 games below 500 and are 2 games behind the Bulls. You know how bad you have to be behind multiple games behind the Chicago Bulls?
You gotta be
And-
terrible. You gotta be terrible.
Thank
We're
you.
going to be fine. That's why
That's-
we're going to catch up. That's why we're going to, we're going to catch up.
That's not
No,
much of an accomplishment, though.
The Bulls are not going to win.
The Bulls have a balanced team. You guys have Gorban Yabasheli.
And he's cooking.
Yeah,
He is, yeah, and while the first round pick, if it lands outside the top 6, it does go to OKC. Even if you don't get the pick, just sit down and beat them, Paul George, and let their bodies get 100% for next season, because this season is a lost cause.
Goalie, I'll bring it over to you with your enthusiastic pick. What do you think the 76ers should do?
Brian, absolutely not. I mean, the Sixers got to play the lottery game. They've been embarrassed all season. This has just been terrible. Nothing's clicking. Embiid's bad. PG-13 is just not playing well. Ever since Jared McCain got injured, it's just been downhill worse and worse. There's a slim shot that he get a Cooper Flagg or an Ace Bailey or a Dylan Harper come lottery time. Nick Nurse, I'll see you in Shanghai. Brian, let me see this jersey.
Why do you want my jersey? No, I'm not letting you take my jersey for that.
This is the
Take that jersey.
76ers.
No, I'm not letting you take my jersey for
A
that.
trash can.
My beautiful
it
G
is
jersey.
certainly a tough time to be a Sixers fan. Sorry about that, Brian. That'll do it for us here on the Hardwood. Stay tuned. We head to the Diamond as the MLB is back with spring training next on WP Sports Desk.